Hello and welcome to the Man Games. This is the podcast show, is the Man
And the wife.
podcast. Today we have looked back at the Great American Bash 1998. The main event of this pay-per-view is Sting and the Giant battling for who has control over the WCW Tag Team Championship belts. Said that really good, didn't I?
You really got that out well, didn't
Yeah.
you?
Without going into too much detail, what did you think of the pay-per-view?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. You can definitely tell that WCW are in their prime at this point. You know, obviously it did obviously go downhill, as everybody knows. And I think you can tell by the quality of the matches and the talent and everything. Although I don't know a lot of the backstory to the storylines, they seem like they were quite interesting and different and whatnot. So yeah, I enjoyed it. So it was good.
So
did you enjoy it? Sorry, I feel like I should ask.
I enjoyed parts of it.
Okay.
Yeah, I won't go into too much detail, but
okay.
Yeah, I enjoyed parts of it. We'll say. So the show opened up with Tony Schiavone, Mike Tenay, and Bobby the Brain Heenan on commentary, running through some of the matches. Then there's Mean Gene Okerlund on the entranceway, hyping the show up. I actually kind of like this, like opening for a pay-per-view. But like it's like an untapped resource, if you know what I mean. Like
hyping everything up and sort of going through it and everything.
Yeah. I mean, cause like you don't need to overdo it. Just someone come out and say, this is what's going on. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, I hadn't really thought about that. I guess they don't really do that anymore, do they?
No.
Did they always do it at WCW, or was this just this pay-per-view?
They did it. I would say around this era they did it quite a lot, but it soon goes.
Okay.
So the first match is Booker T versus Chris Benoit in the final of the Best of 7 series. The winner will get a title match later on in the show against Fit Finlay for the TV title. So you see a few recaps of Bret Hart hitting Booker T with a chair, and then then Benoit doesn't want to win, the 7th match like that. And then it shows Booker T coming out and saying he thinks Benoit's the best wrestler, and that is why they're having an 8th match, should we say, to determine the best of the 7 series.
An 8th match?
Yeah.
Whatever the 8th.
If you don't just listen to what I just said.
Oh, right, yeah, I wasn't.
So they had the 7th match.
Yeah, and then it was.
And Bret Hart hit him with a chair. Benoit didn't want to win like that.
Okay. Sorry.
So then Booker T got awarded the match.
But they didn't want to end like
that. Yeah, he didn't want to end it like that because he thinks Benoit's the best wrestler. Or the best wrestler he has fought, should we say.
Okay.
So yeah, when this match started, I thought this is going to be the match of the show. That's what I thought when it. I would say it was definitely. Could argue it is the best match, but for me, I think it's second best actually, from the show.
Fair enough. I mean, at first note I have actually is Booker T's nose looked massive with that tape on, but I do agree with you. It was a really good match.
I really like Booker T's attire in this match. Like when I think of him as a kid, that's the attire that I think of him wearing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But I think this was a very technical sort of wrestling match, isn't it? And you sort of see, especially at the beginning, like they're both really trying to out wrestle each other.
Yeah,
it's very back and forth.
Anything you can do, I can do better.
Yeah, definitely.
Also, something else I pointed out in this match, the referee Matt Curtis, some of the chops and that his facial expressions were really, selling the match, being more hard hitting.
All right, didn't notice that personally.
Yeah. So some of the spots in the match, there was a back body cross from Benoit, an insecurity kick from Booker T, and the sidewalk slam on Benoit, and he hits his head hard. Booker T obviously does the spinner Rooney. Everyone loves watching Booker T do the spinner Rooney.
There was Booker T's on the top rope, but Chris Benoit gets to him, punches him, and then suplexes him off the top rope.
Yeah,
that was a good spot.
Off the top row.
And then Chris Benoit does 2 German suplexes, but goes for a third. But Booker T, counters the third, and then Chris Benoit gets a dragon suplex.
Yeah, one thing I did notice about this show actually, there's a lot of moves that are different names now than what I have then. Because like they call it a dragon suplex, I always thought it was called a full Nelson suplex. But there's other moves that I noticed. I can't think of any off the top of my head now, but thinking like the small package, they call it something else, but I can't remember now what they call it. But that just like little things, thinking, that's we don't call that anymore. Do you know what I mean?
I always watch. Obviously, Chris Benoit got a flying headbutt in. Hate that move. Think it's awful.
Yeah, and some of the chops Benoit was giving to Booker T just look absolutely brutal as well.
Yeah. Getting towards the end of the match, Booker T does 2 Harlem side kicks, then a missile drop kick from the top rope for the win.
Yeah, Booker T doing the missile drop kick is one thing that I like think of my childhood. Like I remember seeing Booker T do it and thinking, like, well, not even now thinking no one does it like Booker T used to do it. And then when he got to WWE, he still did it a few times, but it didn't look as good as he did it here. It proper, like, the body shape, when he jumps and does it is just phenomenal in my eyes.
It's very, because he's so athletic, isn't he? And he just really gets the height, doesn't he?
His legs are so long as well. Like I think the trousers,
make them look longer. Yeah, definitely.
Whereas now, well, not now, but when he wrestled in WWE, he had knee pads on and big boots, and they kind of hid the fact how actually big he is, probably.
Yeah. So, what did you think to Booker T winning?
Well, considering like I said before, when I first started watching wrestling, it was really around this time because I remember these two were always fighting each other, and I was thinking these guys must really hate each other, but that's because obviously they're doing the best of 7 series. But I remember the matches, but actually I didn't remember who won in the end.
Yeah.
So yeah, Booker T winning. Yeah, I think him winning is probably the right win to face Finlay later on. I think maybe Benoit and Finlay would have been a bit too similar. So, the clash of styles for later on between Booker and Finlay are, a better mix, should we say.
Yeah.
So, yeah, really, really enjoyed this first match.
Yeah, they definitely know how to play off each other, don't they? They work so well together, and the chemistry is really good. So, definitely enjoyed this match, yeah.
I know, obviously, Chris Benoit did things later on in life, but you're going to have to look really hard to find a bad Chris Benoit match.
Yeah.
So next up there was Chavo Guerrero on WCW.com.
This is so funny when they're like...
As if this was a thing, like WCW.com.
They're like, and he's on the internet.
Yeah, he's on the internet.
I just think it's so funny.
Saying he wants to fight his uncle Eddie later on in the show. WCW pay-per-view together, which I may have mentioned at the beginning of the show.
That is very true. First WCW pay-per-view. It's nice to watch some older stuff though. It's do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I enjoy watching some of the old WCW stuff. I kind of wish at the beginning of lockdown we watched some really good stuff, and I kind of wish we'd waited until we started doing this podcast.
That's true. We could watch it again though.
Oh, I know, but some of them was the first night. I think you can't beat the first time watching something because the next time things don't mean as much or they're not as good. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I suppose. Well, I forget things, so I can read a book again and forget things have happened. So
I suppose. So the next match, actually for me, it was my favourite match of the show. On paper, I would not have thought that, but I really did enjoy this match. It was Perry Saturn against Kanyon. Kanyon had just left his Mortis gimmick because he was actually Kanyon here, but there was other Mortises involved in the match.
Is that what they were?
Yeah.
Do you know what I've written down? People who would look like they're dressed like Bane. Bane.
Off Batman.
Yeah, but like the old school Bane.
Right.
So I didn't know that was his character. My bad.
So yeah, one thing I will point out, like watching these old WCW things, I just forgotten how good Perry Saturn was. Such a good wrestler. He should have done a lot more of him in WWE. He's got so much potential. looking at his ring work in this match.
Yeah, as you said, this wasn't a match that like seemed intriguing, when you look at the card and that. But it was a really good match. I think they told a really good story, with the flock by the around the ringside and stuff like that, and then what I call the look like Bane's coming in and whatnot.
Yeah. So when the match starts, there's a Mortis coming to the ring, but actually Canyon then attacks Perry Saturn from behind. So yeah, there's Kidman, Lodi, Horace Hogan, and Scotty Riggs. They're part of the Ravens flock, which Perry Saturn was part of at the time. They soon get ejected to the back by the referee. There was something I don't think I've ever seen before. There was Perry Saturn did a suplex onto Canyon, but he stood on the middle row and did it from the apron to the middle of the ring. But that's why don't people do that? Like you're gonna get more of a pop, not a pop, but like to hurt your opponent. The springiness of the ropes is surely going to impact the body more.
Yeah,
it's going to hurt more than a normal suplex.
Looks like it's more damaging.
Yeah.
Yeah. You see Perry Saturn go over the top rope and jump onto the flock and Canyon. That's a really good spot.
Yeah.
And then there's like some sort of crazy submission hold by Perry Saturn as well at one point in the match. And I have no idea how he got into it or how he even got it on and what it was, but all I just thought was like, that just looks insane. But I can't give you more details because I have no idea anything else about it. Do you know what I'm talking about? I realize I'm not giving you much detail. I've just put crazy submission holds.
Yeah, I think I do remember the spot of the match. I just don't actually know what it's. Yeah, they were quite near to the ropes, I think, weren't they?
Yeah,
it was kind of like a pin. It kind of looked like a pin, but it was actually a submission hold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mental, absolutely mental.
So Saturn brings in a chair into the ring, but uses it as like a springboard to do a drop kick, and then he does, which I think was actually the spot of the show. He uses the chair to do a springboard moonsault off the ropes, which I thought looked really good. Sabu does a lot of things like this, but I think Perry Saturn made this look really good. I think to me that was spot wise the best spot of the night. I think it's just because it's something you don't see all the time, and it's stuck out in my mind.
Yeah. I feel like even though this was a slower match, and I don't usually like slower matches, this really kept me interested. Like, obviously not at all points it was slower, but do you know what I mean?
No, I know what you mean.
Yeah. So like, it was a bit slower and a bit more paced and stuff like that. But really, had some really good spots in it and some really interesting submission holds, like, which just kind of, and it had such a good story, so I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, Canyon hits a Russian leg sweep at one point. He makes this simple move look really, really good. When Bret Hart does it, it's more of a stiff move, should we say? But Canyon's, I know I can't this is compared to Bret Hart's, but Canyon's looks more like vicious when he does it.
Yeah.
Saturn hits the ring to Saturn, goes into the pin, was unsuccessful. Next on my notes is how good is this match? It was very, very good indeed. Saturn hits. To me, it's like what Taz would do, like a Taz suplex.
Yeah, I got that. That's a really good spot, that one, wasn't it?
Both men fall off the top turnbuckle onto the floor. At this point, I was a bit worried it was going to end in a double count out. And then this is what kind of left a bad taste in my mouth after the match, even though I would say it was still my match of the show. Two Mortises start fighting in the ring, or they come down and...
Yeah, so they come down, and I don't really get why they start fighting in the ring, like these two people. Was this supposed to be a distraction, or...?
Yeah, so Saturn's distracted by, I suppose, Canyon's Mortis. Canyon hits a reversed Russian leg sweep, which once again looked really good. and then obviously Canyon gets the win. Turns out Raven is one of the Mortises.
Yeah, so as he's dressed as Mortis, he attacks Canyon, doesn't he? And then he reveals himself to be Raven.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It's the Raven effect. The flock come down and they all turn on Perry Saturn and
yeah, he gets a program. Raven gets a program in the ring, doesn't he? Like saying,
"What about me? What about Raven?"
Yeah, and like how he's disappointed in him, and the flock obviously then attacks Perry Saturn.
Yeah, but Perry Saturn makes a comeback and knocks him out of the ring anyway. So yeah, I would say this was my favourite match of the night, but I didn't really like the ending. But I think the in-ring work of Perry Saturn and Canyon, that speaks for itself. So in my mind, that is why it was my match of the night. Bobby Heenan actually says at the end of the match, Raven dressed up as Mortis is probably the first time he's had clean clothes on in weeks.
Yeah,
kind of made me chuckle a little bit.
That was a funny one, yeah.
So next up, there is a recap of Dean Malenko vacating his Cruiserweight Championship. So this match between Chris Jericho and Dean Malenko is for the vacant Cruiserweight title. It did start off very slow, I did think, this match.
Yeah, but before they got... So, Dean Malenko vacated it. Is that... yeah, I'm right on that. No.
Literally just said.
Yeah, sorry. But they say that Chris Jericho won it, but didn't win it or something. What are they going about?
I think at the end of the match.
Oh, okay. Am I?
Yes, you are.
Okay.
Alright, just to explain then, because at the end of the match, it ends in a DQ. Normally the title doesn't change hands in a DQ, but because it's with a vacant title, that's why they're saying.
Okay.
Has Jericho won the championship? Do you know what I mean?
Right. Okay. I must have the wrong end of the stick. That's not what I thought was going on. Sorry. But I feel like you're really disappointed in me now.
Yeah. So yeah. Anyway, I think I spoke wrong before. Sorry. It starts up a very fast pace. This match.
It does. I was going to say. I loved seeing a young
Jericho.
Yeah, he just looks like brilliant, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it does. Sorry, I should say it does start off really fast. Jericho does lots of strong kicks and chops and whatnot.
Yeah, the commentary team here as well, they were really putting focus on all the moves and making sure they've got all the moves right and things, whereas it doesn't really happen these days, really. Like, they'd rather tell you a story about something else than actually explain, like, the ring psychology of the match. Well, that's in WWE anyway. I think Excalibur in AEW is very good at, commentating like this.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a stiff belly to back suplex in this match. Lion salt. Dean moves Frankenstein from the top rope. Jericho thinks he's won and then threatens to hit the referee at one point.
Yeah, I was going to say, I thought this was a much faster-paced match, as we said. I feel like these first three matches have just been really great, but in such different ways.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And that's what I was sort of saying about, you can tell that WCW were in its prime.
Well, WCW, their undercard was definitely in its prime. I think the main events had the star power, but they couldn't back it up in the ring as much as maybe they could have done in the old days.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. It's like, you can see from these three matches alone, just how the talent obviously is amazing, and then like they portray the matches and they're just sort of all different. You're not watching sort of like the same thing over and over again. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and the
same type of matches.
Not like Backlash.
Yeah, not like that.
So yeah, there's a great counter into the cloverleaf at one point. I really like the cloverleaf move. I remember when I was a kid, I used to watch Dean Malenko do the move, and I could never work out how he actually got the hold on. But 10 nieces and nephews later, I've worked it out.
Yeah. Do you know if you noticed the pattern on Chris Jericho's tights? Did you look at?
I can't remember off the top of my head.
They're like squares, like pastely squares going on the side, and all I could think of is it looked like the set of In Your House from NXT.
All right.
It's the same sort of colours and that same sort of theme. Just was making me chuckle.
At one point in this match, it's something that Jericho does do still now, which I really liked. He said to Dean, "You're nothing, just like your dead father." It just made me think of his match with CM Punk at WrestleMania 28, where he's like, "How's your father? How's your sister?"
Yeah, he's very good at the trash talk,
Yeah.
isn't he? And I'm thinking that switch to turn people and stuff like that.
Yeah.
He knows just what to say, pushing the buttons.
So that is when Dean Malenko, nearly said Ambrose again, flips out and attacks Jericho with a chair. It didn't look very good though, I didn't think, the chair shot. He had the chair the wrong way around. There was not a lot of impact. So it didn't really look good.
Yeah.
So then Dean ends up, fighting Jericho out of the building. And in the end, Jericho runs across the road and runs away.
He gets disqualified, obviously, from using the chair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dean Malenko.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I thought it was really funny when they start fighting outside and then they go out.
Yeah, I kind of was hoping for a bit more there. I thought if they're going, I thought maybe Dean Ambrose. I keep saying Dean Ambrose.
Malenko.
Dean Malenko. I thought he was going to chuck him out of the building and then lock the door or something. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Getting this trash out of WCW kind of thing. But no, he just run off anyway.
I just thought it was really funny, watching Chris Jericho crossing the road into all the cars and that. And
yeah, to ask the car to stop.
Yeah.
So next up, there is now Eddie Guerrero on WCW.com. He's on the internet, saying he doesn't want to fight Chartha, that his grandmother doesn't want them to fight, and the family doesn't want them to fight. So yeah, that is obviously just building for their match later. Next up, there is a video package for Hoover Tube Guerrero. I thought it was a bit pointless, really. I just didn't see what they gained out of this video package, really.
Yeah,
is it meant to make him look mysterious or something?
Yeah, it didn't really give you much worry about the character, did it?
No.
Especially when he then came out and wrestled. I just didn't put that promo to that wrestler.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Do you know what I mean?
I think it might have been. I think he just lost his mask, so they were trying to get over him as maybe a new character. But to me, getting over someone as a character shows what they can do in the ring. Don't have a video package of him just walking around, really.
Smoke and it was just
it's a bit smoke and mirrors, wasn't it? Just a bit,
a bit weird. So
the next match was Hoover Tube Guerrero against Reese. I did think this was the lowest point of the show.
So why did Reese come out with no music?
Maybe it's a Ravens flop thing, I don't know.
Okay, and who was coming to the ring with him?
Lodi.
Okay. Yeah, so Hoover Tube Guerrero starts by praying in the corner, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And they say it's it's a David and Goliath match. And I just think, I do agree. This is the lowest point of the match in the card, and I think that Reese looks like a school kid bully when he's got his jean shorts on, a flannel around his waist, and a black sleeveless top, and he was so sloppy.
Very green.
Yeah.
He did a massive slam, which is the only thing I really remember about the match. Van Hammer hits him with a chair, then the Hoover Tube rolls him for the win. Not really a lot to say about this match. It was, in my eyes, the weakest point of the card.
Did Reese ever become a better wrestler? Because I feel like
this is actually the first Reese match I think I've watched. And now we were watching WCW. I can't think of another match of his that I've watched. But saying that, I think I remember him fighting Goldberg, but Goldberg just killed him.
Right.
That's the only other memory of Reese I have, really.
Yeah, I just felt like that Hoover Tube Guerrero is a great technical wrestler, and he had lots of skills, and I just felt like putting him in this match, and I just thought Reese just looked sloppy. I felt like he was literally just a wrestler because of his size, not because of his talent, if that makes sense.
No, yeah, I completely agree.
And I just think I just felt sorry for Hoover Tube Guerrero because he was trying so hard to help out this Reese guy who just looked like a big sloppy mess.
Yeah, no, I completely agree.
Which I feel like.
So we'll move on to Bigger and Better.
I have a question quickly before we move on.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. You go on, sweetheart.
Why are low blows not cause for disqualification?
Just WCW rules. In WCW, I think AEW are trying to do more the same thing. Things at the referee's discretion, so the referee can sit to DQ um, if they think it's gone too far, kind of thing.
Right. Okay. That's another question. You're
Yeah.
gonna get mad at me. Okay.
Why do they do that? I don't know.
No. So when Hute came down to help Hute Guerrero,
Van Hammer,
why did he come down to help him?
no idea.
Yeah, that's the only thing I didn't quite get. I was thinking, who's this person that's coming down? What are they friends? Are they like? What's the
Yeah,
story?
I mean, there might have been. I can't. Yeah,
Okay. All right then.
I can't remember, but it can't have been that important, really.
Yeah.
Van Hammer never really made a name for himself. Well, not. I think he's had some legal troubles. Maybe that's where he's made the name for himself at the moment.
Okay. Sorry, you can.
So yeah, going on to bigger and better things next. Was Chavo Guerrero versus Eddie Guerrero. This was another really good match, I thought. There's a lot of stiff slaps and chops from both Eddie and Chavo. Eddie gets his shoulder busted open on the steel of the turnbuckle. He's got like a gash in it. You see the rest of the match that looked like it pretty sucked.
Yeah, I like at the beginning. Eddie's like begging with Chavo, like, I love you, I don't want to fight you, and then Chavo just slaps him so hard across the face. Yeah. Obviously, as you were saying, starts off with lots of chops and stuff. Brilliant match, I thought.
Yeah. I'd like the thing. Trying to think of when I was a kid watching WCW. Chavo seemed like on a bottom feeder. Do you know what I mean? But this match really made him look like a proper star. It's just a shame he didn't always get the spotlight on him like he did in this match because he looked really, really good. He hits an awesome moonsault.
Yeah, well, he does. He gets up to the top rope, flips off it, Eddie moves out of the way, so Chavo lands on his feet. Then Chavo goes to the opposite, he runs to the opposite ring post, and then does a moonsault landing on a standing Eddie, which takes him to the floor. That just looked incredible.
Yeah, real good.
Really enjoyed that.
Eddie throws Chavo's head into the steel steps. That looked a bit. But I mean, obviously, and it's predetermined, but that did look a bit fake. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And then choking as well. You see Chavo choking Eddie.
After a slap, Chavo loses it and chokes Eddie.
Yeah. Once again, no disqualification for that. So then after that, we get Eddie starts running, and Chavo takes chase, and they're running around the ring, aren't they?
Yeah.
And then Eddie runs into the ring and hides behind the ref. I thought that was quite funny.
Yeah, my notes next say, I think my text has predicted what I was going to say because it says Chavo hits a supermarket dive. I think is it meant to be a springboard dive? I think he does a flip over the top rope.
He just does a somersault dive onto the outside, them to Eddie, and then he does a bulldog springboarding for the second rope. Sorry.
Yeah, Eddie goes for his frog splash but misses. Then Chavo hits a tornado DDT for the win.
It's like a springboard tornado DDT. It was amazing.
Really, really good. I was really surprised Chavo won this match. I thought, if I looked at the card, I would have thought, I know Eddie's going over Chavo here, but yeah, really surprised. It's good for Chavo. It's just a shame that WCW didn't really do any more with him, and he's probably someone that's very underused.
Yeah.
But WCW more concentrated on their, Stings, Bret Hart, Hogan, Nash, Hall.
All the big names, rather than trying to build up the
the new talent.
Yeah.
And also, while you're listening to the Man and
The Wife
podcast, if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. It's the best way of helping us grow this channel into something bigger and better. Also, check out the other content on the channel, the Fun with Figures, the 2K20 content, and the watch along every Saturday. Go and check out the other content on the channel. If you like wrestling, there is all sorts of different bits on the channel also. So next up is Booker T and Finlay. This was a bit more. Starts off quite mat based, I would say, like holds. You can definitely tell, Finlay's got more of a European style than the American style.
Yeah, so Finlay is focusing on Booker T's knee, because obviously they were selling that he's got a bad knee and he's wrestled twice tonight. It was the second match tonight, so he'll be tired out. So, Finlay's focusing on that knee, getting lots of submission holds in to try and wear Booker T down. But I feel like the crowd's not very interested in this match.
I can't remember which. Sorry, it's actually in my notes here. Yeah, the crowd seem distracted like a few times in the night. I think this might be the second time I noticed it. That's why I wrote it down here. I think they were the same in the Hoover Guerrero match, but that's a bit more understandable.
Yeah. But there was at one point when they were saying that na na na.
Yeah, I've got that here. Yeah, the crowd are counting here.
And they're looking at the corner, like they're looking back.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing something's happening in the crowd.
Yeah.
Someone's being
well, we know what that's like.
Yeah.
So, short story, when we were in Brooklyn, we saw an episode of Raw, and a man was, being very boisterous, should we say?
Yeah, boisterous.
And the security guard came over and asked him to calm down, and then maybe probably the third or fourth time, the guy says to him, calm down, and the guy looks at all the crowd and then tells the security guard to suck it. Which was actually quite funny, but then he gets taken out of the building, should we say? I'm sure his wife and kids, or I think it was just his kids were just by themselves, weren't they? And some strangers had to go and take the kids out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, sometimes the fans want to put themselves over at wrestling events, which is a little sad, really.
Because I think. Was that not during the Finn Balor match that we were watching it?
Yeah, it was Finn Balor and Roman Reigns when we were there. Yeah.
I was so excited to watch Finn Balor.
Yeah.
And then I got so distracted by this man, it was just annoying. Yeah. But there was also boring chants in the Booker T and Finlay match as well.
Yeah, I think that's a little bit unfair as well. And they're both great wrestlers. I think some people just don't appreciate Finlay's style. He definitely uses the ring as a weapon, I would say. Tries to use every part of the ring in his advantage. But like I said, that's probably more of his European style background, should we say.
Yeah. So Booker T gets a really mean axe kick. Is that right? Axe kick, yeah. And then he does a front pile driver for the win, and he becomes a new TV champ.
Yeah, the reversal of the move was a bit botchy, wasn't it?
Yeah.
He goes to reverse the tombstone, and it's a little bit botchy. One thing I will really say is more around this era of wrestling. Wrestlers used to win matches with other moves other than their finishing moves. They would pull out different moves to win the match. Whereas now, that didn't really happen. Randy Orton always wins with an RKO, or Brock Lesnar always wins with an F5. Whereas here, you saw Booker T win back with a missile dropkick in the first match, which wasn't his finishing move. Now here with a front pile, tombstone pile driver, his finishing move.
Yeah.
I remember, I'm sure Sting sometimes used to win matches with a frog splash, just
keeps it interesting. You're not expecting it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're not thinking.
Oh, here comes the RKO, so he's won it.
Yeah, or you don't buy into the finishes because if someone wins a move, say if trying to think of someone off the top of my head. Say if Daniel Bryan won a match by hitting, a really good DDT, you'd be like, you think, oh, this is going to only be a 2 count. And then when he won, you'd be like, oh crap, Daniel Bryan just won with that DDT. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I know exactly. It gives it more of an element of surprise.
Yeah, more of a shock factor.
Yeah, absolutely.
So next up, it was Conan getting a shot at the United States Championship. He came to the ring with Kurt Hennig and Rick Rude. So around this time, it is when the Wolfpack has just formed. He's against Goldberg. So the reason why Conan is in this match is because apparently Kurt Hennig is injured, and that's why he can't face Goldberg himself. So if Goldberg wins this match, it will be his 100th match win in a row.
It's just so funny talking about this streak. Even looking at it as somebody who didn't watch it during this time, it is obvious that he has not won 100 matches in a row.
Why is that obvious?
Because they say he's been wrestling less than a year. So if he's only been wrestling less than a year, and there's 52 weeks in a year, and they do one show every Monday.
And a Thunder on a Thursday.
Mm.
I know that, but I think
In less than a year.
I think even in some WCW documentaries, they've said it was all bollocks, and I couldn't remember the number. Like one week it was 100, next week it was 118, and
yeah, and they just jump up. Yeah, so I just thought it was really funny. But also the commentators are really putting over the streak, the 99-0.
Yeah, so it was a very short match. Goldberg hit a spear, which didn't actually look that good. Jackhammer win. Yeah, not really a lot to say. It was kind of just something to give Goldberg, I think.
Is that just like, I feel like that's all the Goldberg matches are like that, like just very quick, few moves.
Yeah, well, that's kind of his gimmick, in it.
Yeah.
People pay to see Goldberg do the spear and the jackhammer. Do you see the?
Yeah, I suppose.
At the end of the match, Kurt Hennig and Rick Rude turn on Conan, revealing that Kurt is actually a member of the NWO White and Black. Nash and Luger run down to save him. I'd say this was more of a low point of the night as well, to be fair.
Not as low as Super Guerrero.
Oh, no, definitely not. At least this had more star power, but I was never really invested in anything that happened, really.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Next up, I thought it's really strange. There was no Nitro Girls on this show. I was just thinking, I would rather maybe watch, a 3-minute dance from the Nitro Girls than watch the Hoover Tube and Reese match.
Yeah, me too, actually. I felt like that was just painful to watch. Really painful.
Yeah. So next out there is Michael Buffer. I really like Michael Buffer. I think his presence makes matches feel bigger. Obviously, I know I say this all the time, but when I watched WCW as a kid, when Michael Buffer was commentating, you knew, this is now the main, we're getting to the main event, or the last few matches, which are going to be really good on the show. So it is Hulk Hogan teaming up with Bret Hart to face Macho Man Randy Savage and Rowdy Piper. So they've already said that, Rowdy Piper and Macho Man, they aren't friends. They're just teaming to...
Yeah, the commentators will really put that over there. They're like, first time these two have ever been in the ring together. They were really, really putting that over, weren't they? Will they work together as a team?
Yeah. Something I did pick up in this match, actually, because around this time, WWE were making fun of WCW for, they were using their old talent, people are past it, were now WCW's top star. Whereas now you look on Raw, they've got Edge back, Randy Orton, Christian's kind of back, Big Show's back now, Ric Flair's, in Randy Orton's corner.
Yeah.
They're doing exactly the same thing because they've not created new stars.
True.
It should be people like Ricochet, on top on Raw every week, and I don't know why Ricochet was the first person that came to my head, but there's loads Chad Gable on SmackDown. He should be a bigger star. Aleister Black, probably out of all of them, should be the biggest star because he's actually got, he's got the character and the work all in one.
Yeah.
The only thing actually I don't like about Aleister Black, I know this is going off topic, but I don't like the fact he talks. I think he should be a wrestler that doesn't talk. His moves in the ring should do the talking for him.
That they've massively dropped the ball with Aleister Black.
Yeah, definitely. But I think even in NXT, because he was talking in NXT, and I always thought, when I first saw him, I thought, this is a guy that doesn't need to speak.
Yeah. He has that persona, that presence about him.
Yeah, he's that presence. Yeah, he doesn't. Or, if he does speak, he only needs to say, I will end you, or, do you know what I mean? But anyway, sorry, we've gone off topic. We're talking about Aleister Black. To be fair, I'd probably rather talk about Aleister Black than this match, to be honest.
I found it. So, it's a no holds bar match, that's right.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's what they were advertising as. What's the definition of a no holds bar match then?
Anything goes, really.
Okay.
So yeah, I wasn't really I like all the people in the match, but I wasn't really a big fan of the match. I thought it was a bit sloppy. You can kind of tell that maybe Hogan doesn't care as much as he used to. He seems to care more about his tan than the actual match. I kind of thought in this match.
Yeah.
He looks so dark, doesn't he, with his
It's
tan?
got such a deep tan on.
Yeah. So notes wise, Disciple hits Piper in the back with the title at one point early on in the match. Probably the spot of the match was actually Bret Hart goes to do a headbutt onto Piper, and Macho slides a chair in, so he actually headbutts the chair.
Yeah, that was good.
That was, it's really new, really unique. I've never seen that before. Hogan hits Hart by mistake, and then later on, Savage attacks to the sharpshooter because he's got a bad knee.
See, now I fell hook, line, and sinker for this bad knee because at one point, Savage goes up to the top rope to do a move, and he falls off the top rope.
Well, he's on the top rope, and Hogan punches Piper into the rope, so that makes him lose his balance.
Did not see that.
Yeah.
I genuinely thought that his knee was bad, and he fell off the rope because his knee was bad.
No, yeah, so he's going to the top to do his finishing move. Hogan punches Rowdy Piper. He leans on the ropes, and that makes him lose his balance and falls and grabs his knee.
Oh, okay.
So do you have anything to add for the match?
Yeah, so after you say he goes to top ropes and he falls off, and then Hogan starts to work over that knee, doesn't he? Slamming it into the ring post and stuff like that, which then leads to the sharpshooter. But I know what you say about the match being sloppy and stuff like that in a way, but I enjoyed that they worked with the knee and they sort of told that story.
Yeah.
Which then goes into the next match.
It's just crazy how these are the best. These are meant to be like the best on the card. Do you know what I mean? Which obviously at one point they were, but
yeah, I can see what you mean when you say like, you're not building new stars, which was I think WCW.
You're not using your stars right. I mean, Bret Hart could be doing so much better on this.
Yeah, I feel like you can tell he's not as invested as well, can't you?
Well, yeah, I mean, I know he's not a big star, but I don't mean Bret now. I mean, let Hoover Tube Guerrero fight Bret Hart. Don't have Reese there.
Yeah.
Even if Bret Hart squashes him, but he gets a few moves in, Bret Hart could have made Hoover Tube Guerrero look more of a star than Reese.
Yeah.
Now the next match was Piper versus Macho Man, because obviously they're not friends. Piper didn't want the match.
He was showing nice, wasn't he? He was like trying to pick him up and being like, "Come on, mate,"
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, but then Savage obviously attacks him.
Yep, hits the elbow drop, but obviously because of the knee, he can't get the pin straight away. Then he ends up decking the referee out of frustration.
Did he hit him or coat hanger him?
I think he just punches him, I think.
Oh, okay. Anyway.
And then Piper gets the figure 4 on him and beats him pretty much.
Yeah, new ref comes down, doesn't he?
New ref comes down and I could have done without it. Really.
Yeah, I didn't really see the point of this last bit.
I think it's just trying to put over that these two aren't friends.
Yeah, I know.
And they would team up to try and take down Hulk Hogan. That's
why did they hate Hulk Hogan and Bret Hart?
Well, I think Rowdy Piper and Hogan have always been on opposite sides. So it's meant to be an ongoing rivalry.
Right.
And Hogan and Macho Man have fallen out over control of the NWO white and black. So obviously that's why Macho Man is in red and black colours here.
Right. Okay. Fair enough.
So now next up it is the main event. It is Sting, my favourite wrestler, against the Giant for control over the tag team titles. So they have previously won the titles from Kevin Nash and Scott Hall, but in this time, obviously, I think the Giant went back to the NWO, turned heel again and joined the NWO. So then Sting joined the Wolfpack. So now they're fighting to see who can have control of the tag titles.
So why was the Giant smoking?
I don't know. That's the first thing on my notes. Hate Giant smoking the way to the ring. I don't know if it's meant to be like a don't care gimmick kind of thing, but I hate it. Absolutely hate it. I think it's awful. It's not sending a good message out there to kids.
No, I agree. So he gets into the ring, doesn't he, and the match starts, and the Giant blows smoke into Sting's face, and Sting just gets him back with a hard slap in the face. Retaliates with that.
Yeah, absolutely hate the smoking thing. So what I liked about this match is you could tell Sting really made him look like a giant. You could see him like working over him to try and get him down, should we say?
Yeah, like cut him down.
Yeah,
almost.
cut him down like a tree.
Yeah, definitely. And then you see Sting goes to do a Stinger splash in the corner, and Giant gets his foot up into Sting's chest.
Yeah, that looks like it proper sucked. That.
Yeah, and like I think that really did sell like the Giant size, like a big massive boot to the chest, and Sting just crumbles to the floor. And Sting isn't a small wrestler either, is he? Like he's a big wrestler. Like, he's tall and that himself. So to see that, it does really play off Giant size.
Yeah. So and a few minutes later, Sting finally gets does a body slam on Giant, taking him down. Puts the Scorpion Deathlock on, but Giant reverses it. So now building to the finish, he hits the Scorpion Death
Can we
drop.
just rewind a second? Thank you. Giant gets a massive bear hug on Sting, doesn't he? And crushes Sting. And then Sting bites his face.
Oh yeah, that looked pretty good actually, yeah.
Why are you allowed to bite? Is that just another thing you can just do what you want?
I don't think you can do that in WWE, to be fair.
You'll bite people.
Yeah, I'm sure Pete Dunne bites people.
Oh, okay. So yeah, he just, I wasn't sure if he was going to kiss him or bite his face. But yeah, that looks really good. So that was one thing. And then before that, straight after that, Sting runs the ropes and then does a drop kick to the Giant's knee, which takes him down.
Yeah.
So that's as you were saying, like trying to cut him down. So rather than trying to do a drop kick to like the chest or something, going for the knees, which are weaker and obviously will make him fall down. Sorry, where were you up to now?
I was just going to say, so getting towards the end of the match, Sting hits the Scorpion Death Drop. He kicks out, hits the second one, kicks out. So then in the end, he gets to the second row and then, gets it on the Giant and then hits it again with kind of a bit more speed.
Yeah.
And then gets the 1, 2, 3. Sting has control over the tag team championship.
Another spot that you missed that I'm going to rewind back to. When Sting picks up the Giant and does like a body slam with him, that got such a massive pop from the crowd.
Yeah. No, I did mention the body slam.
No, did you?
Yeah.
I just didn't hear you.
Maybe I didn't put over it as well. You've missed out quite a lot of things I've been saying on this podcast on this episode.
I know. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's okay. It's like I'm talking to myself.
I am listening, I swear.
So the aftermath of this pay-per-view, Chris Jericho did get awarded the Cruiserweight Championship, and Sting chose Kevin Nash to be his tag team partner going forward. High and low points of this pay-per-view. High point for me was definitely watching Perry Saturn and Canyon. Really enjoyed that. Really enjoyed Eddie and Chavo, and also enjoyed Booker T and Chris Benoit. If I had to pick them, I probably would say Canyon and Saturn, then Eddie and Chavo, then Booker T and Benoit would be my favourite 3 matches.
Okay, I would say Eddie and Chavo number 1.
Oh wow.
Then Booker T and Benoit.
Yeah. I think I really just like seeing, how good Perry Saturn was, so maybe I'm a bit, biased.
But then I also enjoyed the Chris Jericho and Dean Malenko match as well. So, but yeah, definitely low points. I'd say that Huichu Guerrero and Reese match, just hated that bit. Didn't really see the point of the Piper and Savage second match sort of thing. I guess it does go to the storyline. I just didn't. For me, it just didn't feel like it was necessary. Yeah,
to me, the low point was I kind of felt like this card didn't have a main event. Like, I don't feel like Sting and Giant felt like a main event. As much as obviously I love Sting, I don't think this felt like a main event. I don't think the tag team titles haven't been built enough to think it is worthy of a title match. Someone fighting over the tag team titles at a pay-per-view. Just see what I mean?
Yeah, I think as well is that like throughout the show, there was nothing that sort of referred to Sting and Giant's match.
Yeah, there was no really recaps, was there?
There was there was more about Eddie and Chavo and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And you could feel their hatred. I don't know. I just kind of felt like they could have brought them up and done a bit, did a bit of, what's the word I'm looking for?
Backtracking.
Yeah, and try to like sell it more and sort of like build it up more. Try and put some more build into this match, which they didn't. So yeah, I can see what you mean by that.
Yes, so I forgot to do this at the beginning of the podcast, so I will just do it now. So this was on June 14th, 1998. It was at the Baltimore Arena. There was 12,810 people in the crowd. Match times: Booker T and Benoit went 16 minutes 20 seconds. Canyon Perry-Saturn went 14:46 seconds. Chris Jericho and Dean Malenko 13:52. Juventud Guerrero and Reese 8 minutes and 45 seconds. That was a long 9 minutes, really. That
it was a very long 9 minutes.
Chavo and Eddie 14 minutes 46. Booker T and Finlay 13:13. Goldberg and Conan 1 minute 57. Hogan and Brett against Piper and Savage. That was 11 minutes 40 seconds. That felt like longer as well.
Yeah.
To me, that felt like 15 to 20 minutes. And then obviously Piper and Savage only went like 1 minute 37. And the main event, Sting and the Giant, only went 6 minutes 40 seconds. So, yeah,
it's strange that they got such a short amount of time.
Yeah, just when you read the card back as well, like them that first block of matches looks just so much better than the end. You know, you think of them first 6 matches, so much and they get all the time as well.
You feel like you could like flip the card around.
Yeah. So all the people that are probably on less money, and you know they don't have high hopes for, are out there, you know, working their ass off, and the bigger names are just going out there for, you know, not a lot really.
Yeah.
So obviously this, you can, you know, saying this now, you can see why WCW were having their problems. So yeah, anything else you want to add for this podcast to end the show?
I think we have covered everything that I had thought of on my notes and everything. So no, I think overall, a good pay-per-view. Enjoyed it. A few low points, but definitely more high points than low points, which you can't always be said for some of the pay-per-views that we do watch. So yeah. Happy.
Yeah, I think if I could change one, like if you had to have this card, I'd maybe just mix it up a little bit instead of having, you know, the best matches in the first half of the show and they're not so.
Well, they probably weren't expecting that, were they?
Well, I suppose maybe, but I don't know. I feel like definitely like Chavo and Eddie could have been a bit more like lower down the card. But yeah, that's just me.
Fair enough.
So yeah, that is all from the Man and the
Wife
podcast. If there's any WCW shows you'd like us to review, let us know in the comments, and you know, it's something we can do. Also check out the other content on the channel, the Fun with Figures, the watch along, the 2K20 stuff. And obviously, if this is your first time listening to our podcast, watch out our other reviews on the channel also. So yeah, that is all from the Man Games today. Thank you for listening.